if all 3 of your girls aren't on the same type of time,
you're all not.
That will change your trip.
Mhm.
That would change your trip. Like when you go to Miami, you guys need to be on a mission. You guys need to know, okay, are we paying for stuff or are we getting shit for free?
Oh,
And
I have that Miami experience. Welcome to our first episode of
Cabernet and Chaos.
I think we need to work on that, but you know, it is our first episode. So, anywho,
how do we cheers and none of you guys took a drink?
Oh, I was just.
I'm so focused on holding.
I was just appalled at the cheers. Like
you could clip it to you.
Yeah, I know, but I like holding it.
I know, right? Makes you seem more official.
To my drink, but I was like, that's a little too much.
That's crazy. Because every time you hear a sleepy girl, that's all you're gonna hear. Yeah, now you're always gonna be holding your drink.
Let's not get too drunk, okay?
Yeah, it is a weekday. So, yeah, welcome to our first episode of Cabernet and Chaos. I am Shalina.
I'm Jayshell.
But she didn't talk into her mic, so I hope you guys can hear her.
Oh my god!
Her name is China, if you were wondering.
Should we redo that?
No, this is our first episode, guy. Like,
anyways,
this is real life stuff right here. So we're really coming to give you the real, the raw, the uncut, the every blood clot thing, right?
Literally.
So
we want you guys to join our conversation. So usually once a month, recently we've been meeting up and we've been just getting wine drunk. Honestly, that's the best. Last time was rough.
Literally.
My insert a clip over here.
I could do that.
Yeah. But we've just been meeting up, having wine, and just having conversation that we wanted you guys to be a part of, basically. So, yeah, I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys stay tuned and make sure to like, follow, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend so we could all be friends.
I like that. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
And we can all be friends.
Okay.
And we'll be dropping weekly.
Yep.
And just stay tuned. There's gonna be different conversations. We're gonna have guest speakers talk about different things. So you know, we want you guys to be a part of the conversation, and feel free to comment and let us know how you guys feel about what we talked about. We want you guys to join, and
we care about your opinion. I mean, the haters, I really don't care about your opinion.
Yeah, I was gonna say, she's trying to hold in the mic.
Very like, what's the word? Like introverted? Yeah. So she's a very introvert. She is my Scorpio twin. We are both Scorpios. Gang.
Capricorn. Sorry. Capricorn. I don't claim them dumb people. I'm a cuss baby Capricorn. Okay.
So yeah, I am October 29th, the start of the Scorpio season. China is my lovely November 6th.
Oh, you remembered.
You always say that every time someone remembers your birthday, and I don't feel like I've ever said the wrong birthday.
I think I dabble between like 6 and 7.
Yeah, because, exactly.
Like,
but
the numbers, but I'm like on point lately.
That's wrong.
I know. It's 19.
Okay. I was about to be like, you thought you were doing something right there? She wants me to be an Aquarius so bad, and I'm not.
We don't want that. Oh my god, my baby daddy's the 21st. Now that I think of it, he's January 21st.
An Aquarius, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, so again, like my name's Shalina. I'm a Scorpio. I'm from, I guess like we're all from, but like I don't know how we would say that. Like we're all from Little Burgundy,
Montreal. For those who don't know, Montreal,
Quebec,
Canada.
Harlem of the North.
Harlem of the North. That's the first time I ever heard of that.
You never heard that?
No, that's what people be saying.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, y'all taught me something new. So yeah, we are all like our roots are Little Burgundy, but like I definitely grew up in Florida. I'm a Florida baby till I die.
Okay, fucking young.
Yeah, like literally, like okay, Carisha.
I am a 5'6" baby.
Lauderdale. Lauderdale.
Yeah, and but like you're the same, right? So it's like your roots
Yeah.
are Burgundy, but like
My roots are definitely Burgundy, especially because like I grew up going there. My family's from there. My grandfather's from there. Um, everyone was like pretty much born and raised there, but I actually wasn't born out there. I wasn't.
Oh.
I'm actually a Verdun baby, to be completely honest.
yes, in front of the McDonald's.
Yeah.
I know. I'll never
Yeah,
forget,
that's
I'll
like
never
where
forget.
I spent a good half of my, well, honestly, less than half. But I was
Mhm.
there up until 8.
But like I still considered you like Burgundy.
But exactly, because I was always there. Like my after school program was there. My
Yeah.
grandfather lived there. I was always there.
That's just
like
where you laid your head. At
literally,
night.
because in the summer I was outside at that court. Okay, I was at the court. So yeah, and then there's China.
China is a true.
Bro. I didn't always live in Burgundy.
You didn't?
Whoa.
No, when I went to Westmount Park, I like lived downtown
Where?
on Lincoln, right near Dawson.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So what?
That's
someone got murdered
crazy.
in the building, and
Oh.
like, we gotta move.
Oh, okay.
But like that's still like downtown.
Like that's actually downtown. Like
you're downtown.
you're literally 2 blocks and you're underneath you're at the
What do you say,
underpass.
Jocelyn?
Like in my head, it's just like you've always been in that
I've been
place.
there for like 20 years. But
Yeah.
Before that, I was downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Yeah, apartment bitch.
She went a real left with that one.
She said, "I'm a real hood bitch."
Real apartment bitch. Like okay, project.
Okay, section 8
Real.
on Lincoln and Westmount. Atwater.
Yeah. Oh shoot.
That's crazy.
But
Anyways.
yeah, to even like touch and dabble, like I always grew up with her. So like even though I've lived in Florida, every summer, every Christmas, I was here, and like summertimes I lived at her house. Like she doesn't remember this a lot, but like her mom used to make my lunches for camp. So
That's cute.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's actually crazy. I don't remember that, but like I
Yeah.
always remembered Shalene and her mom, like my Florida cousins with the accents who got money. Okay, they're coming. And it was a time. The sleepovers, the backyard, backgammon, outside, run the streets, just being kids. Like that's how I mostly remember like Shalena and her mom. And that was my family. Like that was like, okay, they're coming down from Florida. Your cousin's coming down from Florida. And then, we were outside. Yeah.
I met China on Twitter one time. Back in the G, like if y'all was real Twitter OGs, like like Twitter was popping back in like what was that like 2013, 2014, like we were on Twitter heavy, and I had met China, and like we just hit it off. I don't even know how that happened, where she came from, but like yeah, like we just started chit chatting, and then like a very mysterious person. And I was just like, well, don't tell nobody, but I'm coming, girl. And
Yeah, I remember that.
Don't tell her family. Just tell the stranger. Just tell the stranger she met on Twitter, I'm coming. But don't tell any family members.
And to be so funny, China was actually best friends with Shishel's older sister, who's my cousin as well. But like they were like
You gotta come with the camera. You need to come closer to the camera. You're not in the camera. Because you thought you were slick.
But that's our truth though, China. Like we met on Twitter.
Yeah.
We became best friends, and then like I was like, China, I'm coming to Canada, and I came, and literally that same day I got off the plane,
Yeah, she came straight.
I went straight to her house.
Yeah.
So
That was fun.
yeah, it was a time. And then like it would have been us for a few summers after that, and we were getting drunk in the park at 2 p.m. 12
That was so
p.m.
bad. It
Yeah.
was fun.
Yeah. So
Gummy bears with Appleton.
mhm.
Oh
We
gosh.
froze them and we ate those shit on the park bench.
Melted as fuck.
Yeah. You were shoving those. I think it was with Kanaje.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Shout out to her. We love you, girl.
That's crazy.
But
crazy.
yeah, so that's a little backstory on like us, how we met. What do you guys have to chime in about that? I was pretty accurate, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how I met Jill. I just met her one time.
Yeah.
But
But
again,
again, like you're best friends with her sister, so
Yeah, but that's how it happened. So, as for me in China, I knew of China obviously because of my sister, but China had a sister that was my age, And me and her sister became very, very close. And we were always together. We were always at each other's houses, sleeping over. Like, when my mom was away and, like, my parents weren't there, China's house was we going to China's house this weekend because we know we're outside. If we're going to China's house, we could be in the streets, you know? So, obviously, I was closer with her sister. And then now it's just like, looking back at this was like 10 years ago when I came back, because I had moved out of Montreal and I came back to Montreal, and I was about like 10, 11. I was still in like elementary going into high school. And that's when we all close. And now, like, fast forward 10 years later, it's just like separated, but we're still all the same, kind of. And like, now I'm closer to you. Now I'm closer to you. And we're so much more alike than how it was before. Now that we're older and we're grown. So it's just funny to see how everything switched in the different dynamics of like how it used to be like such an age difference before. Like, when we were younger, it used to be like it seemed bigger than now. It's just kind of like,
because like before when we were kids, like we thought we were grown.
Exactly.
We do not want you to come to the court with us.
Yeah, because you guys were doing some wild shit. Okay, from what I've been hearing. Okay.
I don't know nothing about that stuff. So.
In the apartments and the condos and stairwells. Okay.
First of all.
Oh no, sorry, not the condo.
Who is definitely not in the condo.
Sorry, my bad. The stairwells, the NCC buildings, and the.
You were there with us.
Oh.
No, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah, we snuck into the
I don't know
NCC
why
building.
You were there, not Silken or Savannah.
I don't know. We were just outside, and I just remember, and we were just like, "You want to go?" And we went to. Basically, we walked into this abandoned building. Okay, the NCC, the Negro Community Center, RIP, because it's now demolished, but it was the first Black community center in Little Burgundy.
Yeah.
So it was abandoned for a very long time, and we decided on a hot summer day to go into the NCC and sneak in.
Yeah.
And we had this girl that was with us. We decided to go inside of the thing with another childhood friend of ours that. Yeah, and
Wait, but who was it?
The one. I can't. I just remember walking. I don't even remember much of it. I just remember walking, and the girl's leg went just straight.
That was the pool.
Oh no, that was the pool.
The bath right across.
Yeah, that was a pool. That was the swimming pool. The swimming pool.
Fucking foot went right through the freaking roof.
And we were all like, "You're gonna catch hepatitis." That's all I remember. Anyways, one of the things
best hood stories
I thought we should talk about.
We had great hood stories.
Were you there? Remember when were you there that summer when Sean and Nikki came down and they stole the Palm Pilot from the fucking court from the Asians and we ran all the way to McDonald's and tried to buy McDonald's? Oh my god, that was like so. That was the first summer you came down, I think.
Yes. No, this was kids' summer. This was an adult summer. I wasn't even 18 yet.
Yeah.
This was way before. Like I wasn't even 16 yet.
Yeah, because Sean and Nikki first came down when I was young.
Yeah, like we were young.
That was crazy. We ran so far.
Were you there when it was like me, Sean, Chrissy? I don't remember. There's a bunch of us, but we were walking in the hood, and like we're walking like behind my house on DeLille, and like there was this guy there because it's like the hood. But then, like, right across the street is, like, those nice houses. So we were walking to the park, and this guy, like, had his trunk open, and he had bare groceries in there. Like, he had, like, Gatorade, Coke, Sprite, like, every blood
I see where this is going already.
So I don't know who said it, but somebody said it, and I just remember, like, we were just teething the man stuff out of his truck, and then we ran down the street, and we're like, oh, we're blessed, like, So we're there just walking, cracking open the Gatorades, cracking open the Sprites. And then next thing you know, we hear the guy saying like, hey, and we look back and the guy's like, that was for my kids. And I was like, oh my god. And then everybody just took off running towards the park, and I grabbed like Markayla because she was like so little at the time, and I grabbed her and we just booked it like behind like like the depender there on the corner.
Yeah.
Like across. I booked it behind there with her, and then like I was like catch my breath, and then I'm like, all right, let me walk to the park now, like So I'm walking towards the court, and I see the man in front of like Chrissy, and all I see is Chrissy say, "You want mac and cheese?" Because
I can see her doing that too.
I was like, I'm across the street watching this, like,
oh God.
And then the man just started walking back home all drenched in the Gatorade. You don't fuck with these hood kids. Like, they ain't got no manners. They're just unruly. Like, no fucking home training.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, we had
sometimes.
We had times, you know, friends. We had great friendships too. So,
well, speaking of friendships,
mm-hmm.
let's get on to our first topic in regard to friendships.
Okay, I'm down with it.
So, we've all traveled. Pretty well traveled now.
Yeah, I've been to a few places.
Okay, you're the most traveled. Okay, a few places.
First of all, she's the flight attendant.
Okay, but that's not the point. That's not the point. Don't be saying my business. You know that. I'm just a girl who's trying to make a podcast. Okay, I'm just a girl trying to make it out the hood.
She be on that plane, boo.
No, that's right. Short haul, not long haul. Domestic. So, how do you guys feel about traveling with friends? So, you know, I've traveled with friends before. I've never done a big group because I just don't like big groups of people. I feel like there's a lot of different personalities, and then like, especially if people don't know each other and like you're mixing friends, I feel like there's just too much and not everyone's cup of tea. So I personally stay away from big groups. I like 2, 3 max, and I've done 3. And that was enough for me. Like I said, this is not my, like, I personally don't like more than 3 unless it's like people I know. Like unless it's like we're all friends and we all get each other, understand each other, know each other's limits.
Yeah.
That's good. But I realized traveling with friends, you all see that, like, take a Miami trip and see who your real friends are, right?
Like,
you see TikTok 2 days later. Yep, I'm going home by myself. Yeah, you guys said it. Test it. And people are fighting money issues and everything. So how do you guys feel about?
It's so funny because I've always heard that, like, people go to Miami and they come back not friends. And I'm like, damn, they weren't real friends to begin with, you know. But like, I actually like did a Miami trip where it's like, but yeah, so like I didn't really fly in with them, but I did meet them in Miami, and I won't go too much in detail about the story, but we definitely didn't leave friends with the one friend that I did know. So basically I went on a girls trip. It was like 4 of us including myself, and I didn't know I didn't know 2 other people. So I just knew the one person that had invited me, and it just so happened that like we ended the trip and like the person that invited me, like, we're not friends anymore. So like, you know, it could go really bad and be great at the same time, you know.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Why can't I just go last?
Okay, I'll go.
You know me,
So I went to Miami. I would say I went to Miami, like, for example, I went to Miami 3 times with 3 different people, right? The first time I went with my homegirl, it was great because we understand each other and we both know when, you know. So yeah, I had went with one of my really good friends. We obviously had like our moment, but the thing I do like is that we understood each other and we're like, okay, it's just us 2. Like at the end of the day, you know. The second time I went with one of my friends and one of her good friends. But like I met this friend, but this was only like my second or third time meeting her. So we decided to plan a trip for Rolling Loud. And don't get me wrong, like this was a really good trip. Like there's no shade like at all in this video. Like this was a really good trip. Also, it made me realize that like is what made me realize, like, when traveling with people, like when they don't know you, it's different because it's like my girl, she knows when I'm annoyed and she knows when things piss me off and she could see it in my face and she knows how I get. She knows I get quiet. Me, I'll walk 20 steps ahead of you and I'll go about my business and I'll be quiet. And it's not like I don't do it like to shine out of a person or to make you feel a type of way, but like if I know I'm not vibing with you in a minute, like you're gonna feel it in my energy because I just need to be by myself. Because I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't want to snap. I don't want to do that, and I don't want to come off as that person. So I often like I just get quiet. And that person didn't know me to get like that, so she kept thinking like I had an issue, but it really wasn't that. It was more like we're not the same, and we don't go out the same. Because in Miami, like if all three of your girls aren't on the same type of time,
you're all not.
That will change your trip.
Mhm.
That would change your trip. Like when you go to Miami, you guys need to be on a mission. You guys need to know, okay, are we paying for stuff or are we getting shit for free?
Oh,
And those are two.
I ain't have that Miami experience.
Oh no, I say it like, cause like you be with the people. Like if you guys are about to be outside, all your friends have to be outside. Because thing about Miami is like you're gonna get invited to boats, you're gonna get invited to all these things, and you don't know these people. So if you have that one shy friend or that one friend that's not for the team and for the cause, if you have like a Martha and stuff in your group, it will change the dynamic. Like if you want to be okay, we're paying for things, we're gonna go out to dinner, and it's planned. Okay, there's groups of people who do that. But when you're people who want to have fun outside, you guys all have to be on the same type of time.
Oh, you trying to be for the streets?
Their first time going to Miami, you for the streets.
I wasn't for the streets my first time in Miami.
I was young. Okay, I went to Miami.
Young too in them streets.
But you're from there. It's not the same. Like you're from America. Like I was outside and I was like, Miami? Oh, and it was Memorial Day week, and it was like, no, Rolling Loud weekend. So everybody's outside Rolling Loud weekend, right? Everyone's outside. And I'm not gonna lie, we didn't even go to the club. That's the crazy part. I didn't even go to the club. We were just having vibes. Like we went on jet skis, we went on a boat. It was just vibes. But
that's the way to do it.
It was like more business. We did go out there more for music and business, but like that's when I realized, like when it comes down to like friends and everything, like you really have to choose who you travel with.
Absolutely.
Wisely.
Absolutely. I think there's key things when you're traveling with friends too. Like for me personally, like I can't travel with friends that don't got no money. Like if you show me
I'm clocking.
I'm not saying like we can't be friends if you don't have money, but personally, like if you're the type of bitch that like when already we go outside out to eat, and like you can't afford for shit. When we at home, I don't want to go on vacation with you because there ain't no way we out of town and like I want to do stuff and you're like complaining about $1. Like that's my one thing. One, I'm not trying to go to a town with nobody that's gonna be complaining about $1. Like if we going out of town, you should be going out of town because you got money in your pocket. Point blank period. Two, I'm not going out of town with people that just want to be like, I don't want to do nothing. Like I just want to stay in the house. Okay, cool to an extent, because I feel like if we go on a trip and it's like for a week or whatever, I don't want to be with those type of friends that feel like we have to do every fucking thing together. Like if you want to go do something, I'm that friend.
That's important.
Yeah,
that is so important.
My two things. One, you better have some motherfucking chicken in your pocket. Two, you better not bother me if I don't want to hang out with you when you want to go do something that I don't want to go do. Three, your personality better not be shitty because I don't like that shit either. Because like, if everything's like and you nagging, oh my god, why did I come on vacation with you? Because I don't want to hear no nagging. Like everybody has like life and life be life, and then they stressed out about bills and everything else. And I'm on vacation trying to act like I'm El Chapo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not. Oh my god! Like everything's a problem. Please stay at home. Do not come anywhere with me. But with that being said, I had great group vacations before, and I've had some that made me like scratch my
question.
But like to say that I would never do it again, I personally couldn't say that.
I like the idea of group vacation. Like I would always want to take like, gather friends up.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's when it gets to like strangers for me. You know what I mean? Like I'm not against like, if we're all planning a trip, like, you're going to Colombia and you're like, oh yeah, like my friend is coming, come or whatever. The reason why I am iffy about group trips like that is because as women, we know how we could get. And that's just me being real. I know how I could get, right? So I know how catty people are. I know how hating and jealous and how people move different. And when it's like two groups of girls that came in with their friends, and then there's two girls that they don't know and we don't know them, and the first couple of days are going to be awkward because you're looking at me and I'm looking at you, and there's like that tension, especially if you don't fuck with me. That changes the whole dynamic. Like I've seen people do trips like that. Like my girl went on a trip like that, and like none of the girls fuck with her.
I think we're going into the next topic, okay?
Yeah, I guess like mixing friends, right? So I think that's important too, because going on trips, like now for me it's like if I'm going on a trip, like I want to go on with people that like I know and I par with. And then there may be like I have a friend that like wants to come on too, but it's like if my friend that wants to come isn't friends with the people that I'm already going with, I learned my lesson now. Like I don't want to mix and mingle.
Or at least open. Because, like, you don't have to be friends, but, like, you also have to have a certain type of personality to be able to mix friends. Like, I know there's just certain friends I just don't mix. And it's not to say, like, none of my friends are capable or none of people or whatever, but just, like, if I was to plan a trip, I know who I would plan a trip with, and I know who I would go and plan, let's go out to eat with or something. You know what I mean? And those are two different groups just because it has nothing to do with even like funds or stuff. I just know certain people, I know certain people won't match with certain people because I know my friends like that and I know their personalities like that. So I'm just like, I don't like, I like mixing friends to a certain extent. Like if it's a gathering, I'm very selective of who I bring around.
Absolutely.
Because I know, okay, we could all converse and we could all talk. You know what I mean? But I don't know, like mixing friends, I try not to because it's just like I'm not choosing sides. If you guys get into a fight and if you guys don't hit it off and something and you feel away or you feel away, I'm not choosing sides.
Yeah, the people in the group that are like already friends, and then the outsider that I'm bringing in, like I'm responsible for your feelings. Like I don't want you to feel left out.
Yeah, they're like, are you okay? Are you sure you don't want to come out with us? Because then they're in their feelings and they don't want to come out. Now everyone's going now. Now you're feeling bad because you left your friend and now you're a bad friend because you no.
I don't want none of that. So I think for me, like I just now realize, like if I'm going on a trip with certain friends and like I have a friend that wants to come that's not part of that friend group, like sorry, but like you can't come because of, like I personally don't want to like deal with it. You know, like I don't want that responsibility on my shoulders for me as a person to be like I feel responsible for like how you feel and how you're feeling, and I don't want that. So it's just like I'm not doing it. If I'm doing a party here, maybe like I wouldn't think too hard into it, too tough, you know, because it's just for a few hours and then after that
no one's going.
Yeah, like you know.
What about you, China?
Well, I've only traveled alone or with family, I guess. And I will not do that again.
You won't travel with family again?
No, because every time it's an issue. There's always something going on. So I just don't think it works for me. Traveling alone is, well, obviously it's just me and myself. But yeah, no, I'm not doing it with family ever. Well, like I'm not never say never, but I just think there's a lot of things to take into account when you're traveling with your family. You know, everyone has different needs, everyone has different budgets. Like you guys had said, some people want to do something, some people don't want to do something, and then it just becomes really chaotic. So for me personally, I just wouldn't do it with like family.
I'm just gonna say the elephant in the room. She's talking about. We just took a trip. Okay. No, I know it's not against me. We just took a joke. I don't want to. This is the uncut raw. Okay. We just took a trip to Atlantic City.
It was fun.
It was a great time. It was but again, with personalities and different personalities, it just didn't work. Like again, me and China are very alike and we think alike and we like the same things versus like the people that we are with are the same in their own world.
Yeah.
So with us, like it just like there was no like separation. Like there was no like time.
Just leave and be like, "Hey, we're going."
It wasn't gonna work like that.
But why though? Like
because there's one person who just wants to be involved in everything and like will definitely feel no, both of them would feel away, but one particularly would feel away because it's like she's you know, that's my best friend. That's supposed to be my, like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like I personally won't be taking any more family trips. They're just not for me. I'm done. I love them to death. Yeah.
It's just if it was me and Deshelle, but I'm not doing that again. Where it's just like
we did it for 5 years. Like we did it 5 times. Yeah, we did it 5 times and
2 or 3 times. And
yeah.
New Jersey and then Atlantic City.
Exactly. Yeah, we've done it. We've done it a couple of times together.
New Jersey, and if I see New Jersey again, I'm actually gonna kill somebody. Like I don't.
If I hear Jersey Shore one more time,
I'm gonna kill somebody. Like,
I never want to hear Jersey Shore ever again.
I want to go to New York City. If you can't afford to go, then don't fucking come. on the trip. That's another problem. Why do people go on trips
that
if
you
don't
can't
have
afford?
the fucking money?
Yeah.
Why are you going?
Yeah.
She's hurt. She's hurt.
I felt that one in my chest.
Say with your chest. Say with your chest.
Why are you going on trips?
And they don't have money?
FOMO. That's
But
right.
then say you're
Oh, the fear of missing out.
yeah, but like I don't know. I just
But then it's like, okay, let's just ask this. Like, I guess like you guys can answer in the comments or whatever, but like, would you rather have FOMO, like a fear of missing out on something with your friends, or would you rather go somewhere with your friends knowing that you don't have money to pay to do the things that they want to do, and now you're embarrassed because now you're looking at your friends to be like, because I mean, for me, I'm gonna be embarrassed. Like if I'm somewhere and I can't foot my bill and I gotta ask somebody for something, I'm blue.
But I also do feel like when it comes to like money, I feel like money is always a tricky subject when traveling in general because I feel like it's not well, it's not
no, sorry, I always
What?
no, it's not about not having money because you could have money. I feel like the issue is when people have different budgets. Because people could set budgets for themselves to have enough money to go somewhere, right? You could say, I'm going to New York with this amount of money, or whatever the case is, or you could say, I'm going on a trip with this amount of money. And for them, that's realistic because they know what they would like to participate in. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's why a conversation should always be had when you are taking a trip. What does everyone want to do and what's everyone's budget? So at least if you're in a group of friends, I get it. You high roller, there's no budget. You have certain standards. But it might not be the same budget as your friends. But that's not even that they're broke. It just might be they make different money. They make like I even tell China, for example, like what I know for New York, I know if I'm going to New York with China, I want to have a certain amount of money because I know the things she likes doing.
Yeah.
And I know she likes going to random restaurants and she wants to go eat and stuff like that. And she's going to spend her money, right?
That's me, baby.
I'm going to go to New York and I don't really care for restaurants. I don't care for certain things to be spending 60 something dollars depending on what it is, right?
And me.
China will go and spend $45 on a tiramisu, and I'm here like, bitch, you spent $45 on a tiramisu.
Yeah, and it was good.
You know what I mean? Exactly, right?
It was good.
But it's not even that. It's not even to say like I don't have the money. We just have different spending habits, right? So it's
but I think that's important too when it comes to like a group of friends. So it's like even when like you and I hang out, not to say that like I look down or be like you're broke or you don't have money, but in certain situations where I'll just be like I'll pay for you, like you know. When it's not to be like I'm like looking at you less or whatever, I just feel grateful that I can do that for you, and I feel like that's certain type of friendships. Which in that, bless you. In that situation, like I really don't mind something like that, but I think it's difficult when like you do have those conversations and you do set budgets with people, and then it's like the first day they're ordering steak, appetizer.
Yeah, they're not being smart with their money. We still have 3 more days to go and do shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
bro, like what are you doing? Like this trip didn't even start and you're spending up the money. Like,
so I actually went on a trip one time where like we did like something so subtle. We just went to Toronto to do a basketball game or whatever, and we talked about that. We talked about budget. We talked about everything, you know. And we got a rental car. The rental car that we were supposed to get was just a car, and the person that I was with like upgrade that shit, like upgrade to the SUV. Da, 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 da. They're gonna drive. They're gonna da da da. And like me and the other person were like, fam, like the gas, like. Gas is expensive, da, 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 da. Like you should be mindful of these things, you know. They're like, I got that, da, 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 da. So our first day, like they bought an ounce of weed, like we got the SUV, we drove to Toronto, went to Cactus Club. They got
ooh, that's my spot. That black and Creole chicken with the mashed potatoes and the asparagus. Oh my god, I love that place. Sorry. Shout out to Cactus Club. That's my shit. Sponsor me.
I love Cactus Clubs when it's happy hour.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. I go there when it's happy hour. I don't. What?
I'm gonna wait.
Right? I'm gonna wait till 5 or the late night happy hour at 9 o'clock. We're gonna get that late night
We're gonna get that late night happy hour
with the peach Bellini. Maybe 2.
But like yeah, so like our first night there, you know, they ordered like 2 glasses of wine. Their second glass they didn't even finish. I had to finish for them. They ordered like steak dinner, appetizer, tried to even get dessert after, you know. Their bill was well over $100 just for themselves. cool. I'm not watching nobody's pocket. Like, you like it, I love it. You know. The next day now, we gotta go do something else. So it's like they need to go to the mall. They went and bought like Air Forces, this and that, because now they need a fit for the game. So I'm like, okay, so now you spending chicken. Like, you just spent $100 and something the night before at dinner. Now you spending $200 and something at the mall on your outfit. Then we went and did like I don't know the name of it, but they have like this little room where it's like the lighting and they have like different games you play and
like
stuff
the
like
fun
that.
things.
The fun thing, yeah. So we went and did that. That cost money. We paid for that. Now it's come times to like go to the game and like money short. You know, we already had the tickets, but it's like you want a drink, you want food, and like you're short. You know, but it was like, oh, like a little issue with this. All right, cool. So we cover that. Then it's like the next day to leave, and it's like they're driving, and it's like, no, pause. I skipped a part. We pull up to Walmart because they're like, oh, they need to stop and get something at Walmart. And anyways, they go into the store. I'm outside waiting. The person and somebody else get back in the car, and the person can be like, do you know this nigga just stole boxers out of Walmart? So I'm just like, how you stealing boxers out of Walmart?
Why are you buying boxers to begin with? You didn't come with boxers? Brokey.
You stealing boxers? You because
yeah.
A little snivel.
Yeah.
But it's just like, yeah, like you did set a budget. You knew what you were gonna bring. You knew how many days we were going. You knew all of the events that we're gonna do. But then you're showing out by needing a new outfit, needing the steak dinner, needing the wine. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what do you do then when you have friends where you have the discussion where it's like, okay,
living above your means. Spending above your means, you don't.
And they don't know no better. What do you do when you have friends that you set a budget with? They talk about that's feasible for them, and then they go on the trip, and then they splurge in the first 2 days, and the last 3 days they ain't got no money.
I don't set budgets with friends. If I'm going on a trip and like I said, I don't go with friends or whatever. But if I'm going on a trip, I'm gonna bring a reasonable amount of money
For myself.
Yeah. How much ever you decide to. I'm not asking you. Okay, are you bringing 2,000 euros?
No, that's you.
But like.
But don't order the wine and the appetizers and the steak dinners.
You only got 500 euros. Like that doesn't make no sense.
That's just me. Because I'm budgeting out to make sure I have my cocktail, my appetizer, and my entree.
Yeah, exactly.
So
if I want another drink, I'm gonna
have another drink.
Like,
yo, me and China are like the greater friends because anytime like we go do anything with each other, like we always fight it. We fight at the cash. Like,
whose tap is going through? You don't know.
Why? Like, me and China get fighting to pay. So I like friends like that. Like when you somewhere and like you got a friend that's fighting and pay with you, ooh baby, like that's a turn on. Like, yes, my rich friend, like come through.
But that's a friendship where I feel like you guys are on the same page.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right? You guys have an understanding without having an understanding that okay, you guys could do that for each other.
Yeah, that's a Scorpio thing, twin.
Right? I don't feel like a lot of people have that type of friendship nowadays where they could be like, don't worry, friend, I got that for you. And you could count on it to be like, you know, one day I know she's going to pay for me or he's going to pay for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like there's not a lot of friendships like that. Like, for example, when I went to Miami and I went with my homegirl, that was the first time I felt like I was also on a different point in life there, but I felt like that was like the first time. Like we went to the Versace mansion. She was like, "Don't worry, I got it." And we went to eat. She's like, "Don't worry, I got it." And I was like, you know, okay. We went out to eat somewhere else on like the strip, and you know, like shit, that shit's just as much as the same price as the Versace mansion. You're getting basic ass food.
Yeah, I hate.
Bill came. I was like, you know what? Don't worry, I got it.
Yeah.
Because you got it before. You know what I mean? There was no money issue. There was no.
I love those
you know what
friendships.
I mean? And that was like the first time I felt like shit. Like I actually have a friend that just like, okay, you got this, I got that. Like, okay, don't worry. Like, okay, I'll get the drinks. So you know what I mean? Or you got the drinks or whatever. But it was just refreshing to know that like, okay, I'm not stressed about the money, and she's not. Like I know she wasn't stressed about the money. I already knew she wasn't stressed because like you know she was in a better position than me, but. We also had that understanding in our friendship where I know, like, I'm not going to worry, like, worst comes to worst. Yeah. And I also know that she's that type of friend that, like, if she knows and I tell her, like, hey, like, I don't got her or whatever, she's not gonna make me feel like shit, and like she'll accommodate.
Yeah.
Like, to what? Okay, what are we gonna do? Like, she won't go to a high-end restaurant knowing that I'm not able to play. Because, like, as a Canadian, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be real. As a Canadian, when you go to the States and you go to America, that exchange, like, it's not as bad when you're there and you're paying in that currency. You're like, okay, this is cool, $60. But that $60 then turns down to like 80, $90 for us. Like $190 something dollars, only
Literally.
$60 American.
To put it in context, like I sent my mom $300 the other
That
day.
shit was like $196.
And it was $200 she got. Like
Yeah.
my 300 was 200 for her. She sent me $300,
and that shit was like $4 something.
Not even. No, I lied. She sent me $200, and it was $3 something.
Yeah, but you know
It
what
was
I
like
mean. So
$310
it's like
or whatever.
when I'm in the States and stuff, like my friend understands that too, right?
Yeah,
She like, if she sees something that's more special, she'll be like, I got it, because she knows if I pay it, I'm paying double that amount.
Yeah, trust me.
Which she's paying because she's getting paid in that currency. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, especially because a lot of my friends are in the States or whatever. So it's like they understand sometimes, and then there's friends who don't understand. And I'm just like, girl, do you realize like you're paying $30 for this? You're paying $20 for a drink. This drink is really like $45 for me.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
For a drink, for one drink. That drink at Mary J. Blige that we got, it was $20-something. That bill, it was 62. When I checked my credit card, it said $62 for two drinks.
I
two
loved
drinks.
when we were in Brazil and we were tapping our cars and they were saying whatever they were saying.
That's what I could tap for you, honey. You can go to Brazil. I'll tap for you.
What?
I'll tap for you.
You want dinner, baby?
I got you.
Your dinner.
I got you. Yeah, we got you. We got you.
Okay,
I can say, you want a bottle? I'll get the bottle. I can afford a bottle out there. Because I just touched down in Brazil, off topic, but I just touched down in Brazil, and I went to go meet my cousin because she ended up being there. I went to Brazil on a solo trip, and she ended up being there. So I went to the beach. I went to my hotel. I switched up quick, ran to the beach, went to go see her. I was like, nah, I'm not missing the sun. She's like, oh, you want a caparilla? I was like, what is that? She's like, it's the Brazilian drink. I said, sure, bring it, want it. She was like, oh, here. I said, oh, okay. She got it. Okay, cool. Love that cousinly love. Now we're talking. Chatting up. She's like, you want to get another one? I was like, she came. I just said, sure. See what she's gonna say. Sure. I took out my card. Took it out. She's like, okay, I'm gonna be right back. Didn't ask for the card. I ain't gonna ask. Came back with another cup. But then I realized how cheap they were. I'm like, now I see why she's tapping away, because the four drinks were probably $20 Canadian for the four drinks. Like, you're paying 25. You're paying like, okay, depending on who you talk to, it's between like 15 to 25 reals, which is like between like $4 and like $10.
Yeah. So I think like me and her probably had like 3 drinks each when she came to me.
Yeah.
Girl, we were drunk.
We went, and then anyways.
So, but like I just like those 6 drinks I think cost me like $30 or like $40
yeah.
with tips. Yes, girl. Yeah.
But yeah, like it's cheap and they're strong.
And then we went to dinner after and ordered these big ass drinks. I don't even know what the fuck we were thinking because we both didn't finish.
We didn't even finish it. We took a couple. We couldn't even finish it.
We were so drunk.
We were already so done. I don't even know why we ordered another.
Literally, I was sitting at the table like this. Like
we were so bloated, so drunk. Yeah. We just ate. The food was
great. Yeah.
We got like a chicken parm.
That was really good.
With like a good mozzarella. It was a good mozzarella on that chicken parm. Chicken parm, rice and fries.
Yeah. The place we went to your birthday though was really good.
That was good. I wish I got something else for my food. I did wish I got something else for my food, but it was really good.
I would go back there though.
Like, I would. Like yeah. You should go back.
You would like it. They have like a lot of options.
It's like pasta. They have like eggplant lasagna. Yeah, they had a risotto. They had a burrata risotto. That was good. That's what I wish I got. The burrata risotto. It was like busted. Yeah, it was good.
Mm-hmm. Their drinks were good. My drink that I got was good. I don't know.
My drink, I brought it back.
Yeah, she returned her drink.
Yeah, I brought it back.
She was like, "What is this? There's no juice in here."
No, I got a passion fruit caparilla.
Yeah.
And there was no passion fruit in it. Like, it didn't taste like... No, but like, I've been drinking... Think about it. I've been drinking passion fruit caparilla since I got there, right?
Mhm.
So for me to go to a restaurant and order a passion fruit caparilla and for it to taste like there's no caparilla, there's no.
It tastes like rubbing alcohol.
Yeah, like I was like, what
Yeah.
is this? I said no, take it back. Like,
Yeah.
and there was just a lot going on at that restaurant. There was just a lot.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, there was just a lot going
Yeah.
on. Maybe it's because they were closing. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. We did go pretty
But-
late.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a good time.
We'll double that back. You know, maybe like in future, like when we do go back, we could bring you guys along and do like a little
Yes.
podcast in Brazil.
Yeah,
And-
that'd be nice.
Yeah. A little Cabernet and Chaos in Brazil.
Oh, it's gonna be chaos, but no Cabernet. It's gonna be Caparilla and
And
chaos.
We'll do a little segment for that because yeah, we're definitely not drinking red wine when we're in Brazil.
No.
That's all I was drinking. Boo, I
Hey,
love
bro,
it.
it's
Loved
such
it.
it's so deadly. It's so deadly because it sneaks up on you in ways that you can't imagine because you really feel like you're drinking juice the entire time and
Yep.
you only realize probably on like your sixth drink. One thing I will say, how much I realized, how much sugar, like they literally pour a bag of sugar in there.
But then I'm thinking too, like the way they gave it to us, like that's how Americans drink. They Kool-Aid. So
Yeah. No, for real.
but no, it was really good. It was a vibe. Yeah, I think that in regards to like friends, like you just really have to like know who your friends are, like have positive notions around it too. You know, like you were saying, like know which friends are to travel with, know which friends are to just hang, go out to eat with, and stuff like that. And like as long as you have a positive mental, like I feel like you can't go wrong. Like what could go wrong?
Okay, Dalai Lama.
I'm just
I will say this
Let
to,
me tell
close this out. I will say I'm a very big advocate on when you choose your friends. Like I personally, I always tell everybody this. All my friends play a different role in my life, right? And all my friends have a different purpose in my life. So I don't put all my friends in the same category because I know which friends could show up for me mentally. I know which friends could show up for me emotionally. I know which friends I could go out of town with, and I know which friends I could have business ideas with. Not everybody is for everything.
I am.
Say it again.
Not everybody is for everything.
I am.
No. Yeah, okay. Honestly, these two are the two people that are for everything. Okay, but with certain people in your life,
Absolutely.
you can't expect them to show up like all five fingers, right? Like I truly believe that all my friends play a different role and I know what role they play so that I don't get mad if they don't show up for me in certain ways because I know they have their own purpose, they're their own chapter in my life for me, and I don't compare them to other friends because all my other friends serve a different purpose in my life.
Yeah, I mean, I agree to disagree because I don't have much friends. So my friends that like I I feel like if you're but it's true though, like I feel like I keep close friends, so it's like I hang out with like a few people at a time because like I really don't like circulating myself and like giving my energy out like that. So I feel like when I just par with you, I just par with you, and you need to be all of that. Like
Okay, but you could truly say with your close friends that you have now, you would open a business with all of them?
I mean, we doing a podcast right now.
No, but we're not your only friends.
I mean, I only have one other friend, and yeah, I would.
That's different.
In something that I know that they thrive in, like I wouldn't go and be like with my other friend that we all know what I'm talking about. Like I wouldn't go be like, let's do like a podcast or mindset coaching with because I know like they're not on that type of timing.
But that's what I mean. They all have different purposes.
But I would
They
still
all-
do business with her, just a different business that I know aligns with her and I. You know, like I wouldn't go into business with something that I'm just passionate about, knowing that she
Yeah,
doesn't have interests and passions about that as well. You know.
I wouldn't go into business with all my friends.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot
I
of
do have
friends.
very well. I out of my close, like my actual close friends.
What do you consider a close friend also at the same time? Somebody you see you every day.
I don't talk to any of my friends every day. I have very good boundaries with my friends, and I have friendships where we get that we have life and we go to work and we do what we have to do, and when we need each other, we're there for each other. And if we say, hey, like, you know what, let's do something this week, we haven't seen each other for a month, we do try to do something once a month. Like my best friend, three of my closest girlfriends I don't see. I barely see. I see once a month. I see you the most. Out of everybody, I see you the most. I talk to you every day. You're the only person I talk to every day. I don't talk to Josiah that much, like, because we have an understanding. Like, I know you're in school, I know you're working, I know you go to the gym. My other girl, she has 2 kids. You know what I mean? Like, I get that everyone has a life, so I don't expect to be. I'm not. I feel like I'm not in high school. Like, I don't need to be talking to you every day. Oh my god, hey, what are you doing? You know what I mean? I get it. Everyone has lives.
I really don't talk to nobody like that. So I guess I can't relate right now.
Yeah.
Simply because I've been away from like all my friends who are like my friends who I'm not really like close to, that I talk to on an everyday basis. Like, I probably have like friends that I claim as my friends, and we probably haven't talked in the last 5 years, or like had a serious conversation. But like, those are still my dogs. Like,
But see, we have those friends that are like, you guys are my dogs. Like, I won't talk to you for years, but that, if I see you in the street and someone's messing with you, that's my dog.
oh
Like,
yeah,
that's my
I'm going
dog.
to war about my niggas.
Like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I don't even need to see you. I don't need to talk to you, nothing. But like, that's my dog. But then there's like my real friends that check up on me, and I check up on them. You know, like, we have mental health checks. How are you doing?
Yeah.
What's up? I
How are
asked
you
you that
doing?
the other day.
I know, no,
But like,
Okay,
besides
because
us,
I was about to be like, I actually did that the other day to you.
for my friendships, I'm like the person that everybody comes to.
absolutely.
And it gets so exhausting. My mom always tells me, all of your friends, like, they always like lean on you for things, and then when it's your turn, like, no,
They ain't there.
they're not there. They can't count on you because people think like, okay, China's life is boring. Like, she works 2 jobs. Whatever. Okay, yeah, my life is boring, but it'd be nice once in a while for people to actually like check in and be like, how are you doing? Like, is everything okay? Instead of me being like, what's up? How are you? And then it's like, this happened. It's like, do you check in on your own friends? Like,
But I find like with us too, it's like, yeah, people don't check up on us. We're not really gonna tell you how
but
we're
also
doing.
at the same time, it's like we're tired of being strong sometimes. Check in.
Yeah.
The statement when it's like check in.
Yeah.
On your strong friend.
Nobody ever checks in on their strong friends.
Yeah.
People are always like emotionally dumping.
You know, it's
bullshit. And
you know, it's crazy that you talk about like emotionally dumping. So with my best friend Josiah, like, we had to have a talk one day, and she was just like, hey, like, I had to take a step back because I felt like every time we spoke, you were emotionally dumping, and it was just about what was going on in your life and all your stuff that was happening to you, and like, I just wasn't there. And like, it took, like, at first it was thrown off, you know what I mean, and it hurt, but I was like, you know what, like, she's right. Like, I do like, you know what I mean, and I had to be mindful of that. So now, like, whenever I message her, I'd be like, wait, hold on, how are you doing? How's life? I always ask her how she's doing, and then I ask her,
Cautious of that
hey,
now, yeah.
can I talk to you about something? Or I wait for her to ask me before I speak on something, because I'm like, I don't want to be that friend that only talks to you when something's happening in my life or something's going wrong. You know what I mean? And I had to be emotionally conscious about that, and I had to be aware of that, to be like, you know what? Shit, like, how are you doing? Like, what's going on? Like, sometimes I just like, sometimes I'll message her and I don't even want to talk about me. I was like, oh, what's up with this? Like, how's this going? Because I want her to also know that, like, I'm here for her too. Like, you're not just my therapist, I'm yours too. You know, but Josiah was a person. Josiah is also one of the only friends that I've had that have been there for me and have seen me in every stage. She's seen me in like all my stages of life, right? And she's been rocking with me since my first heartbreak to a lot of other things that have happened to me in my life, right? So it's shout out
to you, girl.
Shout out to you, boo. But it's so it's easy to like, you know, to trauma dump and to put all that emotion into someone in a conversation, because you're so used to them being your rock and for them being there for you and talking about it, that you don't realize that, like, shit, this is not what someone wants to hear all the time every time we text. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
honestly, like, you just saying that right now made me realize, like, in my own personal life right now, like, I have somebody where it's like I've been distancing myself, and I'm realizing now that you said that, like, maybe I feel good distancing myself because they do trauma jump on me.
yeah,
And it is about,
it's always about them every time they talk.
And or be like, about you, like, how are you doing? Oh, I'm good. Okay, yeah, so this is what happened in my life.
Yeah.
You don't even care about what's going on in my life. You just want to talk. You want to ask just to, like,
so you could continue about,
yeah.
Like, do you really care? Okay, well,
Oh my god.
we'll pause that one. But no, I think this was a phenomenal first. I think this was the first good video for
actually good.
Cabernet and Chaos, and I hope you guys know, like, we're coming back with a vengeance. We're gonna do bigger, better every time, every video. So, I think who said it? I think it was like Keith Lee, where he was talking about like, you don't have to be great to start, you just have to start to be great. I think that quote is amazing, and that's where we're at. I think every video we should do a quote of the day or a quote of the video.
Yeah.
And for our first video, like, that is our quote. So yeah, we're gonna end it out with that. Like, you don't have to be great to start, you just have to start to be great. And we're wrapping up our first video of Cabernet and Chaos.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
See you soon. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow us to tell a friend so we could all be friends.
I love it.
Okay.